Okay, everybody, let's keep this really simple. Let's talk about risk management. I'm not going to go into the deep dive of risk management because you can look that up on Investopedia or wherever you want and dive into, kind of the general assumptions about risk management. Okay, you can go read that for yourself. Just type in traders, risk management. You'll see Investopedia and others come up. Okay, but today I'm going to talk about I know a lot of people lost money this week. Okay, I've seen it in my comment section. And I feel for you, I really do. Okay, I've been there myself many times. Okay, but what it shows is that you don't have a proper understanding of risk management. Okay, I had a couple comments where people got upset because they're like, "Oh, you made the wrong call," and then they're kind of not really explicitly blaming me, but I can tell they're blaming me. I'm like, look, I'm not your financial advisor. If you're losing money out there, guys and gals, it's because and you're getting upset about it, and especially if they're big losses, that means you don't have an understanding of risk management. And a lot of beginner traders, even traders who call themselves experienced traders because they think they've been trading many years, that makes them experienced, but their experience is always bad, or their experience is like 75% of the time they're losing money. I bet that's a lot of you people out there, right? Raise your hand, be honest, because on this channel we try to keep it honest, right? Which, by the way, I always show my profit losses when I close positions on this channel. As a matter of fact, you can look in the description below this video, and I'll put a link of all the videos, or at least a lot of them, where I show the profits on the, and I'll put the timestamps there. You can go back and look at those videos where I show the profits. And I've had a couple losses along the way too. Okay, but what I want to get to is, if you're losing money, a lot more often than you're making, then you don't have proper risk management in place. And it's really important to understand what that is. A lot of people just, they place a trade, okay, and they just hope it works out. Well, that's not a plan. Okay, that's craziness. And that's not trading. That's gambling. And I've said it before on this channel. Trading is not gambling. Don't treat it like that. I've also seen comments in my comment section. I'm all in. I'm going all in, baby. We're woohoo! Going to Vegas, all in. No, this isn't Texas Hold'em, even though I'm from Texas and that's a good game. Okay, I like poker, but whatever. I haven't played in a long time. But yeah, this isn't Texas Hold'em poker, guys. This isn't gambling, guys and gals. Okay? You have to have proper risk management. So today, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to show you how to, this is a TOS platform that you see in front of you. This is a Thinkorswim platform by TD Ameritrade. And I'm just going to go and show you how one of the many ways, because there are a lot of different ways you can do this, but I'm going to show you one of the many ways of how you can use order strategy to put in your risk management. Okay? So the first thing you need to understand is, let's say you bought, let's just take a look. This is the S&P 500 futures, okay? Let me grab the pencil here. Up here, S&P 500 futures. These are the December contracts, right? Let's say you trade the E-mini or the E-micro, or you trade the SPY. It doesn't really matter. It could be just even stock, guys. ETFs, whatever you're trading. This applies to almost anything you're trading, okay? So what I want you to get here is that you're going to use order strategy to implement your risk management. So the first thing you need to understand is, before you start placing an order, let's say this is this candlestick right here was Friday, last Friday, okay? And we can see that it opened up at 44.33. If you can't see that, I'll just put it on there, 44. Hopefully I can do this with a mouse because it's not easy. 44.33. Okay, that's what it opened up at. At one point during the day, it got as high as 44.67. Okay, now 44.67 and a half, but we'll just keep it 44.67. Okay, you do the math between these two, right? 33 to 63 would be 30 plus another 4. So it's 34 is the range between those two numbers, if my quick math is right there. 63, yeah. 34. Okay? So there's your range, your most likely profitable range. Probably not going to get all this. Okay, from the open. If you, let's just say in this scenario I'm talking about, if you place the order right at the open of the session, which would have been, Thursday night, because futures open up the night before, okay? You could have got more range because the low got as low as 44.26. We won't dive into that. That's another 4 and 3 is 7. So add 7 to that, be 41. But very few people are going to get the full range of profitability out of any given day. And anybody that's trying to do that, if you're trying to do that on a consistent basis, you're going to be disappointed. Okay, that's not a plan either. So let's just say you got in at 44.33. Okay, that is your plan that you executed, an order you placed, and you jumped in. Okay, that's step 1 to the plan. You got in at 44.33. But guess what? Before you even place this order, okay, or at the same time you place this order, you should already know your exit plan. You should have an idea of your exit plan. And I think that's right there. In fact, I know that's right there where a lot of traders fail. They don't have an exit strategy. They don't even know when they're going to exit. They're just all in, baby, shoot to the moon. And that's true. I know a lot of you trade like that. You want to know how I know that? Because I used to trade like that. It's just gonna keep going up. I'm just gonna hold these positions forever, baby. Yeah, no. And that's why a lot of you, include myself in the past, have lost money. Okay. Again, we're keeping it real on this YouTube channel, guys. Right? We're not gonna pretend like we don't have losses. Right? It's part of life. That's why we have risk management. That's why I'm putting out this video, to help you get to a place to where you're gonna minimize your losses and maximize your gains. Right, everybody? All right. So if you got in at 44.33, you should have an exit strategy. Okay, on this channel, you know I talk about trailing stops all the time. But let's just say you've overcome your commissions. You need to get out your spreadsheet, guys and gals. And you need to understand. By the way, this is a tick, and this is another tick, and each one of these increments you're seeing on the screen is called a tick in futures. Just think of it as one increment, from one 25-cent increment to the next. You notice how that says 44.6650, 44.6675, 44.60. Those are moving in 1 and 25-cent increments. Those are called ticks. Okay. And the tick value on the E-micro, I think, is $5. If I remember right. Let me see something here. And what is the tick value on the large contracts? It is, sure, I just had it there, I lost it. ES is $12.50. Okay, $12.50. So maybe the E-micro, I'm sorry, the E-micro would be $1.25 then, because it's 1/10. It's probably in here somewhere. Yeah, $1.25. Okay, so $12.50 on the big contracts for every one of these. Let me grab the pencil. Every time you move along one of these ticks on the big contract, the ES, well, they're not. The E-mini is considered the big contract nowadays. That would be $12.50 from there to there. If it just moves one tick, that's $12.50. Some of you are probably thinking right now, wow, no wonder futures are so profitable. If it moves again, now you're up $25. $37.50. Everybody getting it? $50. Okay. $62.50. You get it? $12.50 every time. Okay. On the small contracts, that'd be $1.25, then $2.50, then what? $3.75, then $5. Okay, whatever, something like that. Okay. So the reason I'm mentioning that is because you need to get out your calculator. Actually, a spreadsheet would be better. Okay, and you need to understand, where am I gonna start thinking about taking my profits? If you're a shoot to the moon all in kind of person, which I'm going to get to all in a moment, because all in is not a very good strategy, but it can work. You can be all in, meaning you maximize all your leverage in your account, or most of it. It can work, but you got to have really good risk management. Okay, but I don't like all in mentality. That's for most traders. That's a recipe for disaster. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Okay, so you got in at, let's just say 44, what did we say, 44.33, okay, and let's get down to 44.33, okay, it was all the way down here, 44.33 is right here, right? Right there. Oops, sorry, right there. Well, you get your spreadsheet, and you know after an X amount of moving up, you're up, I don't know, whatever, $100. I'm just throwing out a number. I'm not going to calculate all this right now, okay? Depends on how many contracts you have, right? So it moves up a certain amount, and you've calculated on your spreadsheet that, oh, that's $100 of profit. Okay, I'm going to have an exit strategy right there. Or at bare minimum, I'm going to put in a trailing stop right there. Okay. Now, here's the thing a lot of people don't do. They don't look at the candlesticks from the days around it. If your exit strategy is 150 points later, that better be a swing trade. Because 150 points, look at these candlesticks. Do you see any at 150 points? No, 83 and a quarter on that day, 46 on that day, 47 on that day, 63 on that day. Okay, you get where I'm going on this, right? That's not an exit strategy on a given day, because you're not going to get that kind of range on a candlestick in a given day. You got to be realistic. If you're doing a swing trade, that's fine. You can hang in there for days or even weeks. Okay? Then you can do 150 points. But you better be really good at understanding how markets move. Okay? So you need an exit strategy before you even place your order, or immediately afterwards. You don't just leave your position. You don't just leave your position hanging open. That's not trading. That's gambling. This is not gambling. You can make a lot of money in the market. You just have to use proper risk management. Okay, so that was a discussion about profit. And everybody can easily comprehend that one, and everybody embraces the profit. This is, by the way, the strategy we're talking. The type of profit we're talking about here is we bought low and sell high, which is the most common, right? Most people understand that. But what happens if I know we're at 44.65, so forget the 44.33 for now, because TOS platform keeps correcting the price and pushing us back up to here, even on a Saturday. But let's just say you got in at 44.65 and your exit strategy is up here at 44.68. What happens if it goes down? This is where most people don't have any strategy at all. Oh my gosh, I'll just wait and hope it'll come back. It'll come back. Come on, be honest. That's how most of you trade, am I right? Most of you are trading on, it'll come back. I hope it comes back. I hope it comes back. And you know what happens when that happens? I hope it goes higher. I hope it goes higher. See, you can't trade on hope. Don't get me wrong. As a believer in Christ, I have a lot of hope. And hope is a good thing. Okay? But in this case, we want to use wisdom. Okay? We don't want to trade on hope. Okay? We want to trade using wisdom. Okay? And we want to have an exit strategy on the downside. Yes, I know losses suck. Okay? They suck. I agree. Nobody wants to take losses, but it's part of trading. And what you want to do is you want to minimize those losses. So let's say you have a strategy that you're going to exit up here at 44.68. Well, you might want to have your stop loss, maybe as much as your profit was going to be, or even less. So maybe you're only willing to tolerate down to here. Okay, maybe that's about 2/3. I'm just eyeballing this. The distance from here to here. Okay, I'm just eyeballing this, guys and gals. Maybe that's like, this distance is 4/5 of that. And if you want to go less, you do half, whatever. Okay, you have to have a firm grip and a firm decision about your stop loss. It's really important. I want you to get this. Way too many people just trading, losing money because you don't have a stop loss strategy. Accept the fact you're going to have days where you have losses, or at least orders, or positions to be specific. Sorry. Accept the fact you'll have positions where you take losses. It's part of trading. Grow up. Mature traders, I said this before, they accept the fact, they don't like it any more than anybody else, but they accept the fact that some positions are going to be losers. But they maximize their gains. They maximize their profitability. They go for the big movements and make a lot of profit. And they stop loss out, hopefully for small losses. Okay? Or they got to they have to do, we won't get into this in this video, they have to do a working man's profit. That's why you got to work at it throughout the day. You're working. And that's not ideal. But as traders, we do that sometimes. But in this video, we'll talk about mitigating losses and maximizing gains. Okay. So I want to get that before we go on to actually showing you how to place an order for a stop loss and how to place an order, period. One order that's going to either make you profit or stop out for a loss. The one order is going to do both. Let me show you how to do that, okay? But I just want to get it. Everybody's got to get this. You must understand and you must make a decision before you place your order, okay, before you take your first order, the position you're going to take, you should immediately have a strategy set up, ready to go, written on paper, on your spreadsheet, whatever, in your mind, to immediately follow up with an order that's going to get you out of that position, both on the loss side and on the profitable side, both. You could do it separately, manually, but I'm going to show you how to do it all at once here, okay? If you're not willing to do that, guess what? You are not a trader. You're not even a swing trader. You're not anything. You're a gambler. That's what you are. Do you want to be a trader or a gambler? Do you want to be a profitable trader or a gambler who loses way more than they make? I know both because I've been both. I'm being honest right here in this video. I've done the whole gamble, pretend like I was a trader for years. I pretended I was a trader, but I was just a gambler and lost a lot of money. I refrain from doing that nowadays. And you should too. Okay, so let's go over to how you're going to place an order. Let's say you place an order at 44.65 and a quarter. Okay, we're just talking about right here. Let's just say we got in right there. Let's say we got it in the long side. Okay, and we think this is going to go up. And where are we going to get out? And where are we going to stop out? Where are we willing to get out for a profit? And please don't tell me I'm just going to shoot to the moon. No, don't do that. For you people who want to become traders, and you're admitting in this video right now, you're being honest that you're not a trader, you're a gambler, or at bare minimum you lose money and you don't know how to proper risk management. Okay, just start small. Couple contracts, whatever number of shares in stock. You're willing to get out of a $25 profit, $50 profit, $100 profit, whatever it is. Keep it small until you get good at it. I always say that on many of my videos. Keep it small until you get good at it. Okay? Okay, so what you're going to do on the TOS platform, okay, you'll notice over here to the right, you might be on a chart like this, you'll notice over here all these tabs. Look at all these tabs over here along the side. Well, this one's called Active Trader, this one right here. Okay, that's the one you want. Okay, so I'm going to pick Active Trader. This pop-out side panel pops up. Okay, and what we want is, the first thing I want to say, and this is really important, make sure your auto send is turned off. Okay, I use auto send a lot as a trader, especially on really hopping days. I'll keep this checked. What that's going to do is, as soon as you click on something, it's going to send the order immediately. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that for what we're about to do. Okay, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. And you got to scramble to get out of this, especially in a fast-moving market. For now, make sure it's unchecked. All right. Remember, guys, educational video only. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just sharing with you some of the things I do. Okay, you make your own decisions. Okay, don't blame me, and please don't leave comments about how you lost money and you're insinuating it's my fault. That's just not true. Your trading is your responsibility. And I'm helping you today by showing you proper risk management, so I don't have to read those nasty comments about how somehow it's my fault. Okay, trade at your own risk. Okay, you must become a good trader. That's your responsibility. Grow up. All right, so we're going to pick template up here, and you see this little drop down? We're going to pick OCO. This is called one cancels the other. I'll get it. One cancels the other. OCO. Or just one cancels other. All right, you click on that. You notice the screen changed here a little bit. Now you get this kind of, let me get the pencil here. You get this kind of stuff showing up. Okay, again, make sure auto send is turned off. You get this. Well, what's this all about? All right, so now the reason we want auto send turned off, because you can just click anywhere. Now remember, we bought on this side, but we're going to sell on this side. You'll notice as I bring this up, I'm on the sell side here. You notice how we got a sell, and down here you see the stop? See at the bottom there? Got a sell, -1 contract, limit, and sell. I'm in the far lower right-hand corner, guys. I'm sorry, I can't have the pencil and the mouse at the same time in this case. Okay. So we got the sell -1 limit, and I got a sell -1 stop, STP. Okay. So you're placing two orders at once. That's why it's called one cancels the other, because you're going to have two orders placed at the same time. This is really important. What I'm about to show you here is very basic risk management. Okay, remember we got in at 45, 65 and a quarter, and we're setting up an order to get out. So let's say you determine that 44, 68, 75 is where you're going to get out. Okay, doesn't really matter because the auto send is turned off. So I'm just going to click anywhere on this side. Okay, now you get this. There's a confirmation box in between this and but you just click it and you'll get this window right here. Okay. So now we get this window, and this is where we can change the details. There's two orders here at the same time, guys. Let me grab the pencil. There's one order at the top. See this kind of gray line right here? Right down the middle? Sorry, I know I'm kind of beating it up here, but there's two orders. There's one on the top, and there's one on the bottom. Okay? So let's deal with the order on top first. This one on the top, all the way in the top line here. Okay? That's the limit order. Let me get rid of the pencil. Limit order. Well, we don't want to get out at 44.68. I mean, yeah. Sorry, we want to get out 44.68.25. But you can change this. You can click right in there and you can type whatever you want. So you want to get out at 70. You know, you can even put in 25. Remember, this is 25-cent increments on the E-mini S&P 500 futures. So you can't put something like 34. They're not going to let you do it. Okay. At least I don't think they are. I haven't tried it, but I don't think they're going to let you do that. Okay. But remember, we agreed. We already set it up because we looked at our spreadsheet, right, guys and gals? We already established on our spreadsheet, on paper, in your phone calculator. I don't care where you did it. You established where you were going to get out for profit. There's no such thing as, I'll just get out someday somewhere. No. That's not a strategy. Get used to booking your profits. The way your account gets bigger is by taking the profits and putting it in your account. You can only do that if you close positions. It isn't shoot to the moon. I'm all in. Shoot to the moon. I'll just close it someday in the future. I got to go to work now. That's not a strategy. I don't want to hear shoot to the moon. That's crazy. All right. So now we agreed because you already did your spreadsheet stuff. You're going to get out 44.68, and depending on how many contracts you put in there, okay, you know how much money you're going to make. If you don't have a spreadsheet set up, well, doggone it. Don't you think it's time? Huh? Maybe you got websites that can do that work for you, whatever. Somewhere you need to calculate your orders. I still have spreadsheets to this day, though most of it I do it in my mind because I've been doing this a long time and I can calculate the math on the fly. But for those that can't, you need to have your spreadsheet set up. Okay, so 44.68 and a quarter. Okay, most people know what a limit order is. As soon as the market hits this price, it's going to execute the order, a limit order. There are other types in here. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, but for this one, for most people, going to do a limit order. It's almost always good to change the day to good till canceled. Okay, so do that. Best is fine. Just keep it on best. Okay. So this top one, this whole top row here, this order, the first part of two that we're placing, is your profit side. Okay, profit. That's why it says limit. Limit your profit side. Okay. Let's look at the order on the, because of that. Okay, so now we're done. We've done taking care of the profit side. That's the side for going up. We bought long and we're selling. So we bought low and selling high, right? We bought low and we're going to sell high, somewhere up there. In this case, that somewhere is 44.68. Okay. All right, now we got to take care of the loss side. Oh, I can't accept any losses. I'm an emotional basket case. Well, it's time to grow up and be mature. Okay, time to grow up. Put on the big boy pants and the big girl skirts. Okay, women wear pants too. Whatever. Put on the big boy and big girl pants. Let's do this. Let's accept the fact that losses happen in life and in trading, because you're going from being a gambler to a trader, right, everybody? Right. Okay, so here's the loss side. That's this whole bottom side. That order. Setting that up. Okay. So let's say, since we got in at 44.65, let's say you're gonna set it kind of tight. This was three points higher from 44.65. Let me get the pencil one more time. From 44.65 to 44.68. That was 3 whole points. You can just do the math. 4468 1/4 minus 4465 1/4. The difference between those two is 3, right, everybody? 4468 minus 4465. Or you could just look at 68 minus 65. A little bit of mathematics going on here. 68 minus 65 is what? 3. Okay? If you can't do that stuff, guys and gals, no problem. Get out your calculator, get out your spreadsheet. Okay, so on the loss side, though, because now we're employing the risky side of this trade, the risky side, the side that everybody doesn't want to have. Everybody puts their head down and they bury their head in the sand like it's never going to happen. Well, it happens, and you need to be prepared for it. So let's say that on the downside, the loss side, you're not willing to tolerate 3 points. Let's say you're only willing to tolerate 2 points. All right, so what is the 2 points? Well, it's going to be 63, right? Because 65 minus 2 is 63. Let's just say you're only willing to tolerate 2 points to the downside. By the way, this would be pretty tight, but it doesn't matter. It's just for example purposes only. So the order could be stop limit, but we're just going to do basic stop. This is also known as stop loss. You're stopping your losses. That's why it's called a stop loss. TD Ameritrade just calling it a stop, but traditionally this is known as a stop loss. Some brokerage firms will have the word stop space loss. Okay, whatever platform you're on, they all provide pretty much these very similar type of order types, okay? E-Trade, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. If they don't have this, you're at the wrong broker. So stop or stop loss, same thing. Okay? It's called a stop loss for a reason. It stops the magnitude of your loss. It stops losses from getting really big and out of control. That's a good thing. Okay? You can keep it standard. There's other options in here, ask and mark, but whatever. Okay? All right, you should also change this to good to cancel. It's always a good idea, usually. All right? Now let me grab the pencil. Look over here on the left-hand side. TD Ameritrade calls this an advanced order. Yeah, it's fine. They're all pretty much advanced orders, and it's OCO. Okay? One cancels the other. It knows, because of the way we started this whole thing, remember way up here, OCO, it knows that it needs to link these two orders together. It automatically knows that. Okay? It links them together. All right? Remember, this type of order strategy, OCO up there, and also down here on the left, one cancels other, or one cancels the other. So now we have this set up, right? I'm not going to click and confirm and send, obviously, because I'm not really going to place this order, right? I'm not looking to actually send this order right now. This is Saturday, and I'm not going to send any orders. All right. So from there, you just click confirm and send. You're going to get one more dialog box, kind of big like that. Got a little button down here, and you click the sucker, and that's it. And away it goes. Now, what's going to happen once the order is placed? If the market hits 44.68 1/4, it'll execute the order. You've booked your profits, baby. Woohoo! Everybody likes that, right? Book the profits, going up. And when it executes this order and books it, it'll cancel this one. You'll have no more orders, nothing to worry about. It's canceled. You've booked your profits. You've canceled your stop loss side. Great. That's the scenario we want. However, if the market works against you and comes down to 44.63, it'll execute this order. You'll take a loss. It'll cancel the other order up there, that one. And that's good. You don't want any hanging orders. Okay? And that's how traders, I'm not saying every trader does this exactly like you're seeing me do it here. Some put in 2 orders manually. It doesn't really matter. The point is, what I'm showing here today is very basic risk management. You must understand it's a part of being a trader. You must accept the fact that you will have some positions that run at a loss. You can't just cancel the order and hope it'll come back as you rack up the losses from $50 to $200 to $3 to $5 to $1,000 to $2. Oh, I hope it comes back. No, you're not in hope land anymore. You're in crazy land. And you've made a really bad decision. And as I already said earlier, how do I know? Because that's how I used to trade. Okay? As a matter of fact, I think it was a week or two ago, I had a trade like that. Old habits are hard to break. I had a trade that was like a huge thousands of dollars loss. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. It never should have happened. And why? I did not employ proper risk management. But I usually do. Okay? So today you're getting the real skinny, as they say. You're getting the real truth about how traders deal with profits and losses. Okay? Real traders, mature traders, don't leave positions hanging out there hoping it just is all going to work out. That's no way to trade. Excuse me. Okay? There are some other ways that you can trade where, you can run big losses if you have a large account and you can wait it out forever and a day. Most people don't have that luxury. Okay? Or they have two accounts and they mitigate their risk by using the second account to offset the losses. I mentioned that, I think, on Thursday or Friday of last week. Sometimes I do that. As a matter of fact, I had the little account, which we can use that potentially for that type of strategy in the future. But in the beginning, on that small account, on the E-Trade account, we're just going to be looking to probably doing swing trades to try to bolster that account and then go from there into futures, hopefully. We'll see how far we get. All right, guys and gals, so you should have a pretty good understanding of, number one, accept the fact that losses are part of trading. We want to maximize, when we get gains, guys, we want to maximize them. Right? When the market's moving in our favor, we want to use a trailing stop. And I didn't show that here today. Okay? But we really want to use a trailing stop. Maybe I'll take, this video's getting kind of long, but what you could do is, you could do one cancels the other the same way you're seeing here, but this, instead of being a limit, this will be a trailing stop. Okay? But you could only use this one cancels the other if you already running at a profit. You wouldn't want to do this if it wasn't already running at a profit. That would be a big mistake. Okay? There's another type of order strategy that I think it's called, where is it? Yeah, I think triggers. And we'll get into that in another video. I think you can set up a trigger, and then the trigger, you could do the trailing stop even though you're not running at a profit yet. And you could have the trigger would set up your trailing stop on one side for your profits, and then it would set up your stop loss on the other side. We'll get into that in another video, okay? For today, I just wanted to talk about basic risk management, all right? Accept the fact that you need to have some type of strategy for if your position is going to trade at a loss, if it's going to start moving in towards a loss, right? You have to accept the fact that could happen. Okay, you got to get that in your mind. I'm not saying we embrace losses and say I trade for losses, yay! No, not at all. But for a lot of people, the reason why that they get huge losses is because they never accept the fact that losses is part of trading. All right, so I know I've said that several times in this video, but I'm really hammering that home because I think a lot of people are just, bury their head in the sand and hope it all works out. All right, guys and gals, I hope you really got something out of this video. We'll talk about triggers in another video, which is an advanced way to set up orders where you can do, and on that one, maybe what I'll do is I'll put in a trailing stop and a stop loss, and I think a trigger is going to let us do that in advance, even before your position's turning profitable. And that's really nice because you can set that all up right after you've placed your order. You can follow it right up with a trigger, and I think it'll let you do that. You can set that all up. You can just basically go off to work. You can go to bed at night, and it just handles everything. Okay, which I find that to be a bit more powerful than limit order, because a trailing stop will what it'll do is once the market hits your profitable zone, it'll just keep trailing behind as the market goes more and more profitable. It just keeps trailing behind and keeps making you more and more money until the market turns back against you and hits your stop. But we'll talk about that in another video because that's a really nice way to trade. It's one of my most favorite ways to trade and one of my most favorite ways to profit, okay? All right, guys and gals, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified all the videos that I put them out. Hope you got something out of this video. Happy trading, everybody. We'll talk to you again real soon, again, next time.